Are again. 5 a.m. crew. Let's go. Oh, Carlos here. Love Talk with the Amish Matchmaker, where we help Amish singles find godly wives, create epic marriages, and develop legacy that is rooted in faith and freedom. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about commitment. That's a big part of what we do and what has made us successful, what brings incredible results in your finances, your wealth, brings incredible results in your health, and brings incredible results in your relationships. As you jump on, just give me a shout out. Let me know you're here. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you being committed to this process and being faithful and joining me in the process. It's not the easiest thing to do, to get up every morning and be disciplined. Commitment does have to do with discipline. And so it is good. Very good. Oh, yeah, that's the men's edition. So, how are you this morning? Did you have a great night's sleep? Morning, Mr. Yoder. Mr. Richard Yoder. Thanks for joining me, man. It's really good. Woo. And super excited for the topic today because it really does affect everything we do. As all three C's of intimacy do, three C's of love. Be safe out there, Richard, as you're on the road. Not hard to join you at 5 if you get up at 2. That's right, brother. You've been on the road for a while. We definitely can connect and relate. And you and I have a talk to do anyways today. And today's our day of connection. So very cool, man. Um, Heck, man, if you want to give me a thumbs up, I'll send you a link and you can join me on this talk this morning. Go back and forth. That might be fun. But you're driving, so be careful. Be safe out there. You know, you have valuable commodity. You are an amazing father and an amazing husband, committed to your family. It's been amazing to work with you and watch you in your commitment, and you could definitely be a great example of this. So, all right, let's see, guys. Here we go. Well, let's go. Some of the chats coming on here. Richard. Thank you, Richard. So good to see people interacting and connecting here. So thank you for that. And yeah, let's see something real quick. And discuss it. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to take a second here to send this message out. Discuss with me live. Here's a message. Here's a link that you can join me live as I'm on Love Talk with the Amish Matchmakers. And so there you go. Sweet. Love it. Thanks. Be glad to have you join me, my friend. We will have a little discussion. So commitment. Oh, let me do this. I just realized something. Stand by. A little bit better lighting. Not that you need to see my face. It's more about hearing what I have to say than seeing my face, but sure, we can have better lighting. Wake up, Carlos. All right. So I got my notes here. So let me see. Today we rise early because commitment's not a feeling, it's a decision. It's a decision you make every day to rise up early. And so confidence gets you started, communication keeps things clear, but commitment is what actually builds a relationship, builds a home, and uh, builds a future, my friend. All right, here, friend Richard. There we go. Hey, Lester, good morning to you, my friend. All right, let's see how we can get this. All right, we got you there. Richard, it's cool to have you on here, buddy. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, morning. Yep, hear you great. Am I coming through
Awesome.
good?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Perfect.
yeah. Thanks for joining me, my friend. That's awesome. This is fun. This is going
Yeah,
to be fun to
definitely.
have a little discussion with someone. I always appreciate that. And so thank you. And thank you, Lester, for your support and jumping on here. Ah, there's Jesse as well. Good morning, Jesse. Yeah, we're talking about the Bible this morning. Some of you asking questions. Good morning, Jesse. Glad you're here. Showing some of these comments as they're coming through. So, yes, we're going to talk about commitment to joining us in the morning is step one. That is what separates the boys from the men. And frankly, the men from the leaders. It does matter in leadership to be committed. So, what is commitment? Um, Commitment, doing the right thing even when you don't feel like it. Doing that thing that's beneficial, doing that thing that you have said you were going to do, follow through even when you don't feel like it. How does 2 in the morning feel, Richard?
Not fun, dude. Yeah, it's a
So,
little
what is it that
difficult.
gets you up in the morning at 2 a.m., brother? Tell us about that, what that looks like. Commitment for Richard.
Well, today specifically, the later I get started, the later I'll get home tonight. And tonight is family night, and that's the big motivator for me. Is if I get started earlier, I get home earlier, spend more time with the family.
That's awesome. So let me introduce you real quick, let everyone know who Richard Yoder is. He is a businessman, an entrepreneur. He has a trucking uh, company that is committed to family and relationships and developing legacy. He's one of our leaders that we've had the opportunity to work with. Is it 2 years now or three? Are we going on 3 years?
It's not quite 2 years actually.
Okay, not quite
Yeah,
2 years, which is
I think
phenomenal.
March will be 2 years.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. Time flies, but yet
it does.
it's crazy because it feels like too that we have been working together for a while because we've accomplished so much together. You know
Yep,
what I
it
mean?
really does. Yep.
It's crazy. You came on board, we started working together for business purposes, and then we snuck in there on relationship stuff and you end up getting married. That was pretty awesome.
Well, you snuck in there on the relationship stuff on the first call already. That didn't take long.
Oh, and it's so powerful to see how God works. You were who knew that your precious wife now, Lavina, was that you knew her, you had met before, you guys had been connecting in the past. So it is phenomenal how God works all things together for good. And
It
so
is.
now you are a father. You have taking in and taking on, and working on loving well Mia and Michael. Some I understand some distant family members, but now you are just loving them as your own.
Yes.
So
Somebody say
amazing
family.
commitment. Yeah, brother, amazing commitment in such a short time too. I mean, that's next level commitment in a normally couples come together and and they have some time, but you jumped right into it, and I commend you for that. Not only your commitment to hard work, but your commitment to relationship, your commitment to the children, the family, and bringing them in as your own children and loving them and being an incredible father to them. Not to mention the husband you are to Lavina and the connection that the two of you have. It's phenomenal. You are a great example of commitment, and I know firsthand what it's like to get up early with you, being able to do ride-alongs with you. And in your he's a truck driver, has a truck driving business, has a couple of trucks, and when we're talking trucks, we're talking about the big ones, the big 18 wheelers, semi. And man, you do some short hauls. You have your truck that does long hauls too, as well. And so, what an amazing business you have, and the adventures you have every day, man, is pretty cool.
Thank you for that. And I might add that, it kind of blows my mind when I think back 2 years. I was single as a Pringle, like they say, and didn't have much in the as far as responsibility goes. And then in 2 years later, everything that happened, it's been mind blowing. And there's been moments when I was like, what am I doing to myself? Like I don't have the freedom like I used, to just do what I want when I want. And there's a small part of me that sometimes wishes for what I had 2 years ago. But then stop and consider everything that I have now that I did not have back then. I would never trade, dude. I love my life.
Yeah, man,
Absolutely love it.
so awesome, so awesome. And I do appreciate you so much. Even like you said, today is family night. You're getting in order to get home in time. You're committed to getting up earlier.
That's
2
right.
a.m. is early, man. It is. It's like, oh, I just barely went to bed and I'm turning around and getting back up.
Hmm.
And we work on three areas. You worked on relationship, we work on business and cash flow and monies, finances. And then another area we work on is health, commitment and
Yeah,
health. And so we're going to talk about commitment today, but I know you've taken on that new challenge of health. We're going to be doing some things in 2026 together.
that's right.
Uh, in our community, and as leadership we're going after some Spartan races, some 5Ks, some tough mutters, some physical fitness stuff, man, to really be healthy, be a great example of health, be a great example of what it looks like to be strong and courageous, right, for our children and for our wives. So how's that going?
It's a little challenging some days.
I bet.
I still need to get the. It's a bit of a challenge, especially with the working out aspect of it while living on the road.
Yeah.
If I'd be
Yeah.
home every night, maybe I could work something out. I could, work gym night in a couple
Sure.
nights a week or something. Um, but still, I'm still getting everything worked out. But I'm excited, and I might add here that one thing that made me realize I have to do something is, dude, I could hardly run around my truck one time without needing to rest. Like I was not super fit, and
Yeah.
but then I was challenged with the thought that someone else shared that what if something happened and I have to carry my children to safety?
It's good.
How far would I be able to carry my children? So I'm like, for the sake of my family's safety, I need to be fit. And I need to be able to do what needs to be done in an emergency situation. So that's one thing that is pushing me to pursue these health goals, as well as, dude, it changes everything about your life.
Yes,
If you can be committed to your health goals, changes your mindset. The way you do something is the way you eventually do everything.
that's right. It's really good. Yeah, we know these skills are developed, right? Commitment is
Yes.
developed.
Yes.
And it is amazing how it's tied to your confidence and how it feeds your confidence, but it takes confidence to do it. Then it also allows you to communicate better when you're committed and you have more confidence. Like it's all connected. We see the three C's of love and intimacy all weave and work together. And so it is pretty powerful, but commitment is doing the right thing even when you don't feel like it. And I think it's another big part of commitment is when nobody's freaking watching.
Yeah.
Like that shows your true commitment. It's easy to fall away. It's easy. And, you know, a lot of times people say, well, how do I stay committed? You set yourself up with accountability, just like this. Like, seriously, I would say that I have things that I need to get up for. I've got connections. I've got calls to do. Like by about 5:30 is when my calls start. I have some that start at 5. But like for me, this is a part of commitment on my own part of getting up and starting my day right, talking about things that I know I should be focusing on to help me improve as a man, as a husband, as a father. And so it's interesting, even how this is for me as much as it is for anybody else. Getting up, starting the talk, starting it right. So we got to create stuff because maybe put eyes on us is one of the keys or one of the secrets. Just like this, you know, I know you're a super amazing leader, but again, to jump on here and join me on this call, this video is amazing because then you're putting yourself out there to things you're working on. It's like, oh, now I'm talking about it in public. Takes it to the next level, right?
It does, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. And you
Yes,
know, a long time ago, I made this agreement that I will never say no to something just because it pushes me out of my comfort zone, because I recognize that outside of the comfort zone is where growth happens.
it's good.
And there's something about that decision I made years ago, just really helps even today. It helps me to do the hard things.
That's right.
So I'm just putting that out there. I hope it helps somebody.
No, it's good, Richard. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think men need to hear that. That you're not alone if you're feeling like, man, it's overwhelming. You're not alone if you feel like quitting, or you're not alone even if you do fail. If you don't get up early this morning because you're exhausted and you end up sleeping in and you know, you feel the shame and guilt just pour in. Well, I let Carlos down. Well, or you let yourself down or your wife or your kids, and it happens. But we just got to keep getting back up and going again. I think that's the biggest message. That's what commitment is. It isn't about like I'm never going to fail. Failure is a sign that I'm doing something hard. If I was
I've
doing easy, I would never fail, right?
yeah,
Don't you agree with that?
yes, I do, and I've heard it said that failure is the best teacher.
That's right. That's right. I agree, brother. I guess that's why you're a very studied individual as well. Invested a lot in yourself. You've even had the opportunity to work with some of Grant Cardone's team, and you've invested heavily in yourself and worked hard on yourself, and it shows, my friend. You're a great leader. You're a hard worker, and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. That's what I love, man. You're willing to lead by example, and that's super important to me. And I appreciate that so much about you.
Thank you.
So commitment is steady, dependable, loyal. It's consistent. It's trustworthy. It's long term. It's faithful. Again, I don't think that you heard in any of that I just described that it never fails. Commitment just keeps getting back up. And I will tell you, real true failure is to quit. If you never quit, if you keep getting back up, you're not a failure. You're just learning each time. How do I get back up? My word is my bond. Again, when you fall down. When I love it. I heard Les Brown say this. If I can, if you're going to fall down on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I love that so much, because when your face in the dirt, your head's down in the fetal position, you can't see anything. It's much easier to stay down. But man, if you're on your back and you're looking up and you're like, there's Jesse, there's Richard, there's Ken, and they're all beckoning me. Come on, Carlos, you got this. Let's go. Let's go. There's the men that we surround ourselves with, even Pastor Nathan. There's Michael, a friend of mine, that chiropractic friend, and my chiropractor, who's encouraging. Like, all these men that we surround ourselves with, our wives. There's our wives. There's our friends and our family that love us and encourage us. Like, get up, let's go. Come on, you got this, Carlos. You got this. Because there are times, man, like, I woke up this morning, I was even sore from our workout Monday. We did lunges, we did squats, and I'm like, oh, moving slow. My legs are sore, my butt's sore from the squats. And I'm like, goodness. And there are times in my workout where I'm laying on the floor and I'm like, after the workout, I'm like, goodness gracious, this is not easy. What am I doing this for? But I'm committed to health. I'm committed to being a great example too. Like, Richard, you inspire me when I hear the things you're tackling, the hard things you're doing, the habits you are overcoming. Um, it blows my mind. I'm like, if Richard can do it, I can do it. So I want you to know that too, Richard. Like, the things you're tackling and things you're doing and the ways you're improving, it does inspire me as well. And it's a huge blessing. So I appreciate you, man, and all you're doing. It's really good.
Well, right back at you. That's, I often think of the fact that's what we're here for is, we're here for each other.
That's right.
And I love how watching other people succeed pushes us to succeed as well.
That's right. I agree. All right. So women, they value commitment most. A woman can trust committed man because she knows he won't run when it's hard. He won't shut down. He won't disappear emotionally. He's stable. He's dependable, and he keeps showing up. Commitment creates safety, which leads to connection, which leads to intimacy. A man who's committed becomes a man worth following. It's interesting, and this is addressing even single men out there, but it's married men as well. But again, you're looking for love, you got to be committed to something. You got to have a plan and a mission, something you're moving towards and moving forward on. And I remember, Richard, as you and Lavina were coming together and reconnecting, how we had you go through the process of feldspar and the 7 steps of creating that flow and understanding who you are and understanding who she is and your missions lining up. It's a pretty awesome process. But I recognize even this, it showed your commitment and where you're going and allowed you to say, hey, you want to come with me? Would you agree? Or what was your experience as you and Lavina started processing prior to getting married, processing as a couple and what that looked like, your future together?
Well, um, I am not sure is this going to exactly answer your question or not, but a couple things come to mind. One, when I came on board, this is before Lavina. When I came on board, I was ready for something. I knew I needed something. And so I jumped in with both feet and I invested enough. I felt like it was a sink or swim situation. And I mean, I had to just give it my all and started making great progress. And then when Levine and I connected, she told me, so she was also a mover and a shaker in the community and really making things happen. And
Oh,
and she
yeah.
used to wonder, where are these men at that are actually making it happen? And then I signed up, and she, we knew each other from before, like you mentioned, and she saw me taking action, and she saw me making things happen, and she was like, okay, like it really got her attention. So just putting that out there, like you said, Carlos, women value commitment. She saw the commitment that I had, and it really grabbed her attention. The other thing I wanted to mention here is Lavina and I were doing the system. We were doing, yeah, I guess that's how you can say it. We're doing the system, working the system. I believe that was a big thing that helped us move forward as fast as we did. It was on our first, yeah, our first date. We weren't even officially dating yet, but the conversation we had on that first date, I could take you to the bench we were sitting on a nature walk, and in that conversation, I realized I'm talking to my wife because of how the conversation went. And the
So good.
conversation was a very purposeful conversation, looking at where we are going in life, what
That's
is
right.
important to us, and who are we really. And in that conversation, and it was part of working the system. And it helped me realize that quick that I'm talking to my wife.
So good, Richard.
Not not to say that there's only one person out there. I believe Levine and I both could have married someone else, and it would have been just as right. However, I believe God did have a plan for us in this case.
That's right, brother. So good. And I think you're nailing it exactly. We are you are committed. You are committed to the process. You were committed to doing the process, the strategy, which actually by you even investing in yourself for this process and working with us, it was amazing because I remember when she found out that you were here and developing with us and working with us, she was like blown away. What? Wait, he's doing this. He's committed to doing this, and commitment is such a big part of that. We recently had a client as well, same scenario. Like it built trust because the women what knew that this man was committed by him working with us. And I've heard that several times with the couples that we've helped to get married. The women are like more impressed that a man would be committed to working on himself in relationships because men have such big egos and they're like, well, I don't need help, I can do this. Yeah, you can, but you can do it faster if you have help from experts. That's where wisdom comes in. And it's interesting because commitment doesn't start when you get married. It starts before, it starts now with your goals, your spiritual life, health, habits, your word, your bond, your consistency. Like I mean, it's interesting because now that you're saying this, it is cool that you bring up that bench, like you said, specifically sitting on that bench, communicating with her, connecting, and your conversation was different than it would have been even 2 years ago or 3 years ago before you got started with us, I should say.
Yeah.
And the reality is like we helped to create something for you to focus on, and part of it was your commitment, your consistency, your faithfulness, your willingness to invest in yourself. A man who cannot commit to himself will struggle to commit to a woman. Commitment begins with your daily discipline, but also begins with the fact that you're willing. If a woman sees that you're willing to invest in yourself and willing to start being accountable, that is so amazing, so macho. And so many men think, well, aren't I just, I'm not being confident if I can't do it on my own. No, it's a skill. It's like saying that, hey, I never have to practice playing football and I'm just going to step on a pro football team's field and start playing. That's suicide, man. You could never do that. You would have to practice, you'd have to work on it. And again, that's the misconception about marriage and about relationships, that we never have to be committed to a process that gets us better, commit to ourselves, to empower ourselves. So, man, you did that, and it made all the difference in how Lavina saw you and how you saw yourself and how you showed up. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100. Absolutely. Um, I like how you said, that yes, maybe we can do it on our own, but we can do it much faster when we work the process. I couldn't get married in the 10 years before I started doing your process. When I came on board and started doing the process, within 30 days, I knew who I'm going to marry.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. That's yeah, it's results. Results kind of speak for
Richard,
themselves.
and that's perfectly said. Thank you for saying that because that's real results, that's real truth, and it's practical and real. But here's the thing. I said it before. You'd already invested in yourself in several ways. You've done the work. You've even, like I said, got the opportunity to work with and be coached, mentored by some of Grant Cardone's team and leaders, and it's powerful. Then all we were able to do was to take what you had already been working on and just direct it correctly and help your commitment towards relationships and kind of just give you an understanding of it, man. And you just 30 days, it made a difference. I think that's very powerful. But yet I think there's a lot of men out there that again feel like they're broken or something's wrong with them. There was nothing wrong with you, Richard. It just needed your understanding to shift a little bit. It was like you needed
Yeah,
some guidance in what would bring production in a relationship, what would bring results. And a big part of it was commitment to yourself, commitment to development, and commitment to continue to develop. That's what's helped you in your marriage, even. It's what
yes.
your wife loves about you and says this man is committed and he continues to stay committed to developing himself and our legacy and our business and our family and growth. And like, it's awesome to hear Labina talk about you, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
And this is a perfect time for me to mention this. Like we as men come together 5 a.m. in the morning, um, and I do get the opportunity to work one on one with men like Richard and his wife Levine and their children, Mia and Michael, and getting the opportunity to connect with them. Chantel and I work together to help develop them. But if you're single, I just want to drop a note to you. There is an event happening. I think it's December 10th, 7 days from today. Today is Wednesday. I think it's exactly a week from today. We can drop a note in here. Jesse can drop a note. Jesse and Adina Kaufman are some of our leaders as well that we've worked with in the past and continue to help and develop and support. And they have started a community called Single to Married. And this is like a commercial break. If you're single, I'm telling you, it is highly, highly beneficial for you to go to that webinar. A week from today is a webinar for helping you to determine and understand who's the one. And there's some amazing strategies and skills that you can learn. It's a free webinar. They're going to give you a 7 day sample of look under the hood, look at the community that they've developed. And I'm telling you, there's no better couple I could recommend. I know Richard has worked with them as well and helping them in this process. And it's over on School, Single to Married, on School, SKOOL.com. And seriously, if you're single, you got nothing to lose. It's a free webinar and you'll get 7 days sample of the community and you'll get to join that webinar. So men, spread the word. If you're single, you're going to want to do this. If you're married and you know some single men, you know what? You're going to want to definitely uh, spread the word about this. It is, there we go. Thank you, Jesse. December 11th, Thursday. So not a week from today, a week from tomorrow. And it's at 7 p.m. So you can go over to Single to Married. They've got some details there on the school platform. And seriously, DM me. I'll be glad to get it to you. But I wanted to pop on here. I wanted to say that because a lot of times people are like, well, what's the next step for me? Yeah, go join that community. It's strategically set up with the tools and things, same things that we worked with Richard on that allowed him to discover his wife and to get know that within 30 days this is a woman he's going to spend the rest of his life with and pursued her and was committed to her and now he's married and you've been married how long now, Richard?
We've been married. It would have been a year, the end of August, so a little over a year now.
There you go. August, September, October, November. So a year and 3 months. So you're going on
Yep.
15 months. So
Yep.
congratulations and already taking on two young children and loving them well. And man, what a difference in those children, brother. What a difference to see
Yeah.
you and Levina and the love that you're giving them, the structure, that you're giving them. You're implementing the things that we worked with you and Lavina on, the Epic 30, the MVP, the Triggers to Triumph. You're implementing those core activities into your home, into your legacy, and now with children. And what a difference those kids are. They're talking more, they're loving more, they're more affectionate, more like open. And it's
Yes,
amazing to see that transformation. There is no
it
doubt in
truly
the fruit
is.
that you and Lavina have in just a very, very short time, my friend. It's powerful. So thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you do, my friend, for sure.
And thank you for that. Sometimes, sometimes it gets a little old, working with the trauma that these kids have to deal with.
Yes.
But
Yes.
then, people like you to our situation, and you talk about the difference that you see, and it's encouraging, and it helps us to
Man,
reflect and realize that we really are making a difference.
you really are. You really are. And even that, you were willing to invest in your family and keep investing. You guys showed
Yes,
up when it was tough. You
yes,
you came to the Epic Intensive. You came to the training at the end of the year where we planned out our 2026 calendar with our leadership, and you were a part of that, and Lavina was a part of that, and bringing your kids to our Epic Intensive, and showing up, and them showing up, and then pressing in when it was difficult. It's amazing.
yes,
It's never commitment, to be honest, when it's easy. I don't feel like that's commitment. Commitment is true. Commitment is when it's hard and you do it anyways, and
that's
you
very
did that,
true.
my friend. So it shows up. Commitment shows up. We stay calm even when we're upset. We listen when you don't feel like listening. You love when you don't feel loved. You lead your home with consistency, being faithful in your words, your eyes, your actions, showing up emotionally, finishing what you started. Commitment is not necessarily even romantic. Commitment is responsibility. And I love
Yes,
that. I love that understanding. And in the Bible, the root of commitment talks about it. It's definitely a character that we see with Papa God as a father. He's faithful, he's constant, he's steady, he's all about keeping his covenants throughout the word. He's unwavering, he's dependable. When you commit as a man, as a husband, as a father, and by the way, commitment starts when you're single. Commitment to yourself, but commitment to be a good husband, a good father is proven by your actions. So, how many of you men out there, what would you say today is an action or a step? I would love to see your comments of what you can be committed today to move towards becoming a better husband, to becoming a better father, or if you're not, don't have children, maybe it's those who you are leading and those you are influencing. How can you become a better influencer, such as a father would? Because when you commit, you are taking on the nature of Papa God. That's what he did. He sent his son to die, as I believe, and my understanding is that Yeshua died for us, was the sacrifice for us, so that we could have reconnection to the Father. And that is one of the greatest things that I think isn't talked about enough through religion and through the Word of God and through Christianity, is the separation from the Father that took place, not only in the garden, but throughout history of the church. Constantly, the Messiah was Yeshua, the Son was Yeshua, and he brought restoration to the Father. And he says that when you see me, you see the Father. So his nature of Yeshua was the nature of a father, loving, nurturing, kindness to children, healing, spending time with people, loving on people, male and female, even Mary Magdalene, pouring oils on Yeshua's legs and rubbing her hair on his legs. That's pretty intimate and affectionate. And even the disciples were criticizing him, like, you can use that. That oil's expensive. Use that money to feed the poor. And he's like, you know what? It's okay. Leave it be. This is an honoring thing. This is amazing. Bless her for doing this. But men, I want to hear from you. What can you do today to improve your commitment? How could you improve your skills and commitment? What's one little thing that you could do to show that you are committed to your wife? I know we're going a little bit longer here and we're cutting into Richard's time. But there are many powerful men of the word, Abraham, Joseph, David, that were committed men. Even King David, committed to God's heart, even through failure. He became Israel's greatest king. Jesus was committed. Yeshua was committed to love, even unto death, which the results of that was salvation. How about Boaz, a husband, Ruth's husband, Boaz? Great example of committed to honor, protection, responsibility, a marriage built on respect and strength. All right. What is so what is your commitment, man? What is some things you can do to be commitment? None of these men that I mentioned in the Bible were perfect. But the one thing they did was they stay committed. They stay committed. Men will face obstacles. You will face obstacles today. You'll fear of failure. You're going to face fear of responsibility, feeling overwhelmed. And when I speak of fear, it's like for God, for Papa, for Abba has not given you the spirit of fear. And when I say that, he's not given life or even breathed or spoke or said that you should shrink back. That's what fear means there. We should shine. We are shining conquerors. He's called us to shine. He's called us to conquer those things and to not shrink back, but to have dunamis, power, to have love at a whole new level, and to have a sound mind, self discipline. That's the recipe, the three ingredients that will allow you to be more committed is to know who you are, dunamis, to love well and be loved, and to have a sound mind, self discipline, to know what's going in your mind is what's going to come out your mouth. What are you doing to protect your mind? You're actually protecting your family and your children, your wife, because those things you are focused on is what's going to bring those words out of your mouth. That's why we encourage you men to spend the time and focus on the things that will be beneficial to your marriage, beneficial to your life, beneficial to your relationships. You're going to face feeling overwhelmed, but you got to stay committed. Get back up, keep going. Tiredness, old patterns of running away in situations, ignoring your wife, going to work and staying at work because you're frustrated with the situation and relationship that you have or something you're facing with your wife. It's not easy, but it becomes hard, or your children. No one is going to teach you necessarily how to stay. They're going to be an example for you. You have to choose to stay. You have to choose to be committed to the process. Commitment isn't necessarily natural, man. It's not, it's trained. Women have this natural propensity, this natural ability to be committed. You want to know why? Because they give birth to a child. They have a little human that they give birth to. And there's no greater commitment than not only giving your life, but giving your life and giving your body to create a little human. Whoo! So there's this natural ability that women have to be committed. Men literally have to be trained in it, have to learn. That's why we gather at 5 a.m. That's why I push the limits with you and encourage you to do the same. You have what it takes. You can build commitment by waking up, by being committed, connecting to Papa, reading, learning, growing, staying faithful, staying committed to something, smiling, having a good attitude. One act of kindness today, one uncomfortable thing that you can do to step forward and move forward. Richard, you're still on here. Thanks for joining me this morning. Thanks for being a part of this. What is one thing that you could recommend to these men as you understand commitment? 2 a.m. commitment is super powerful. That's one thing you did today. You got up and started your workday very early so that you could close your day and be committed to your children. And you are. That's awesome. But maybe you can even share that, what that looks like, how that's helped you, a real life story of a different kind of commitment, a next level commitment to your children, and what that's done for you. And what does that look like? What am I talking about when I say commitment to your children? Can you describe it for these men and the effect it's had on you, your family?
Yeah. So that it's I've never really given that much thought to my commitment level to the children. It's just I love these children. and so I just want to do what I can to give them everything that I'm able to give them to succeed in life.
Yes.
Um, Now, there have been moments where, maybe I had to choose between loading the next load or showing up for my children.
Yes.
Um, there have been times like that where I had to choose to
Sure.
turn down a good load,
Sure.
so that I could be home with the children a little earlier. So there have been times that I was faced with decisions that were a little difficult, but I had to choose my children because of my commitment level to them. And going back to your earlier thing of something that I could share, that could help men to level up in their commitment, I think that's going to look different for different people. Um, some people, like I just shared with the children, like I love them so much. I just want to give them whatever I can so that they can succeed in life.
Yes.
There's other things in life, for example, my health. That's a little harder for me to stay committed to because I don't know, I just don't connect to the same level. Um, I guess you could say the results I get from being committed to my health. It just doesn't have the same. Uh, I'm struggling to find words, but it's just, yeah, it's a different dynamics than it is being committed to the children. But one thing I do want to say, even though it'll look different for every person, I think everyone has that one thing that they know if they would be completely honest with themselves, they know if I would do this thing I've been thinking of, it is something I could do to increase my commitment level. Maybe it's reading 10 pages in a book every day. Maybe it's
Good.
doing a workout every day. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute or an hour long workout every day, but do your push ups, push yourself every day.
It's good.
Um, there's so many things that one can do, that increases our commitment level. And sometimes it's not even so much what that thing does for us outside of mindset. Like,
Yes.
yes, working out every day is great for our health and our strength. However, I think the bigger thing that I would get out of working out every day is a mindset
Come on.
that develops out of that.
Absolutely. It's good. It's good. It's very good. Now, one thing too, and I love that. All that is amazing. But I want you to share about Wednesday night. Like you're going home early tonight, but for what purpose? Because I don't know that very many men have ever heard of this kind of commitment and designating a night. Can you explain that since you've put it into action and I love the pictures and videos you've sent to us and your connection with your children and what's that all about and because that's a practical step that men that are married that have children or have wives they can do to show commitment.
Yes. So, as was mentioned, I have a trucking company. I personally am a truck driver, and it's easy for me to be gone a lot from home. And so, my wife and I talked, and we talked with Carlos and Chantel as well. And we came up with a system where I'm gone Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Wednesday, my goal is to be home by lunchtime, but no later than 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Wednesday afternoon, that's family time. I don't do business Wednesday afternoon unless I need to put out a fire. Um, it's family time. So one evening, it's all four of us together, my wife and I and both children. And the next Wednesday, it's maybe me with Mia and my wife with Michael. We'll like Mia and I will go to a park or wherever she wants to go. Really, we talk it over. We decide what she wants to do, and we go do that thing if we can. And same with Michael and my wife. And then the next Wednesday, once again, is all of us together. And then the fourth Wednesday would be Michael with me and Mia with my wife. And so we swap it out so that 2 Wednesdays a month we're all together. And then one Wednesday, like both of the children have one Wednesday evening with each one of us parents every month. It's just a time of intentional connection.
So good.
And then also Saturday evening is date night. Now, in full disclosure, that's something that I need to grow in because too often Saturday evening comes and I'm like, what in the world are we gonna do tonight? Yeah,
It's real. It's real.
it
Yep.
is, it is. So that's something I still need to level up in. But this intentional time of connection is something I did not grow up with. I grew up on a farm. We were always connecting, but this thing of intentional connection is
Yep.
huge, and I have seen growth come from that, both in my relationship with my children and my relationship with Lamina.
So good, Richard. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's good for them to hear it from someone else. But yeah, that's our standard that we create with people that we work with that changes everything. And it's huge and it's like real and practical commitment. Can you commit not one night a week to your wife? And we recommend Saturday night because we believe you give your best after rest. So we encourage people to rest on Saturday and then to be committed to rest, but then committed to your spouse by having a date night. And we encourage the men to be the one to plan the date. Your wife, especially if you have kids and she's helping with the kids and taking care of the kids, but also working and you're working, like everyone's busy during the week, but she'll tend to be the one, if she's home with the kids, that will make the meals and things. And it's awesome for her not to have to plan the meals and have to worry about the kids, that you can plan it. You get the babysitter, you help to put things into action, and you plan that date night for her, whether it's going out for coffee, whether it's a picnic lunch or grabbing some food together or going out to dinner or going to a movie or doing something to where you're committed to that relationship and you continue to grow and develop and connect. And then the commitment to your children. They've chosen Wednesday nights, beautiful night, Wednesday evening, getting home. Like I said, again, it's the standard, it's the rule that he's made for himself. He's committed to it, but it doesn't always happen perfectly. I want you to hear that. It doesn't, but guess what? He's committed to it and he's always going to come back to it. That's what matters. Creating a standard. And please know that we have tried all different ways with all different kinds of people, and we have found this is the best recipe. Even if you have 7, 10 kids, if you have a designated night to commit it to your children, like he said, Wednesday and Wednesday evening, family time, but even commitment to one-on-one time with the children, it's powerful. Powerful. It makes all the difference when that child has your undivided attention. Put your phone away, be committed to them, connect with them on their level, on the things like he said that they want to do and learning from them. I loved it. Richard was even doing. He shared with us how he went with Mia and they went to the park and she was going down the slide. Then he went down the slide. It's like, and that's the scriptures. That's the Bible saying, unless we become like children, we cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Like that's becoming like children, loving them and connecting with them. And I appreciate you so much, Richard, because you and Levine are doing the work and you're committed to it. You're committed by getting up at 2 in the morning so you can be home and be with your children and be committed to the family time, be committed to the one-on-one time. That's powerful. And be committed to the date night. It's powerful. Commitment to yourself to rest. It's powerful. You're doing the little things. And again, man, woo! You're just like 15 months married and you're already tackling all these big mountains. And the way we take the hill, the way we climb Mount Everest is literally one step at a time. Men commit to one thing today and watch it grow and develop into what Richard's doing. That he's now committed to one day a week where it's all about his family and his children. And he's committed to his wife one day a week for a date night. And he's committed to resting, committed to developing his health and his fitness is powerful. And again, he's going to fall down. I fall down. I make mistakes, but we get back up and we keep going and we keep going and we keep encouraging each other. So God bless you, Richard. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being willing to jump on randomly and spontaneously and to tell your story and to share with what you're working on and the ways that you're committed. You're a great example of this, my friend. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it.
All right, man. Well, I've got to jump off so I can jump on with Richard again. But some private time, connection and communication together, and some one-on-one time. So, and thank you, Richard, for sharing some of your time here this morning with these other men. So you mentioned appreciate it. But I see here Jesse put for his commitment. I'm committed to reading more, daily time of reading a good book, and that is powerful. That is good. We encourage you, man, even going to bed. What if you read 10 pages, 5 pages, 2 pages of a good leadership book every night and read it out loud to your wife? As you guys, that's what Chantel and I have done in the past. We've started doing it again. It's amazing because you're ending your night. You can pray together. Yes, 100%. You can pray with your children, pray together, express love and affection to each other, have some intimacy with your wife. That's always a good thing. Cuddling, snuggling, making love. However, it's also good to close the night with something that's helping to develop you. And it's the little things done well over time that really compound and make a difference, man. So ending the night with that is super powerful. There's another one from Jesse Kaufman, showing his commitment to getting into shape for the Spartan trifecta race that he committed to. And I too have committed that. Richard's committed to it. We're going to work into it with trifecta being a crazy, crazy thing to do. The Spartan race starts with a 5K and 20 obstacles. So we're starting with an actual 5K of running first in February as a community. So we're doing some things for our health. Super powerful. Um, awesome. Looking at here's some comments from Sheila. Love it to have women jump on here too and confirm what we're talking about, and talking about how she's talking about great awareness. And then she said, "Good morning. Uh, thanks for showing up. You are helping so many." You're welcome, Sheila, and God bless you. And Sheila is one that is committed to helping people with their lymphatic system. She's an expert in that world and keeping the flow going in your body and toxins. And she's a single mama. And it's interesting. She made a comment the other day on my morning video and she said, "I'm excited for my future husband to be plugging into this every morning." She's a powerful woman. So you got to have good confidence to be able to connect with a woman like Sheila. But she's a powerful entrepreneur, hardworking, mother, committed, faithful. She does her own talk at 5:30. And yeah, live well with Sheila. You got to check it out. Livewellwithsheila.com and live well with Sheila. She is definitely helping and transforming lives and helping people to have a better life, that their toxins get built up in their body and their lymphatic system. She's overcome so much to have a victorious life. So shout out to Sheila and shout out to single guys. Get to that thing next Thursday, to the event, the free webinar. Sheila's going to be there. She's a powerful woman. I'm pretty sure she's going to be there and be a part of that. That's where you get to meet, mingle, and connect with other people as well. And maybe your future spouse will show up there. You got to show up, got to be committed to something so that you can find your spouse. If you're single, go do it. If you're married, hey, jump on over to Epic Your Life school platform. That's where we help develop your legacy and make your marriage epic. So I'm Carlos Campos, Amish Matchmakers, and my wife and I are blessed and love helping Amish singles get married, find a godly spouse, make your marriage epic, and then help you to develop an incredible legacy that is rooted in faith and freedom. God bless you. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, men.